G'day guys, Hugo Hunter here. Just thought I'd have a quick talk with you about fuel storage. Just something that, because I'm about to go and fill up these jerry cans again. That's a new one. I've used these two in the last wee while, so I'm going to have to go and take them up and get some more put in them, just so I'm ready. I got paid today, so I've got a little bit of extra cash, so I'll flick that into some fuel. I believe I need to do my car as well, so I'm getting under half, so I'll try and keep the car above half all the time. That one sits in the boat. It's a little 10 litre, which is, for you guys in the States, 2.5 gallons, self-venting can, so I just keep that in the boat. I just make sure not to overfill it, because there's the safe fill line just there, if you can see that. Just because in the bit of heat in the boot, it allows it to vent itself with the, well, it's a self-venting can, but you still don't want it to expand too much. I also checked with my insurance company to make sure that it wouldn't affect any potential claim I had to make if something did happen, and they said that was fine, so that's good. Something else you might need to check out, if you do plan on carrying extra fuel in your car or vehicle that you don't have a, because I've got like a car, not a truck at the moment, so you can't really tie it, or you don't have, I can't get an external rack for a fuel tank or anything, so, or a ute or whatever you guys call them, pickups. So that's sort of gets me a bit stuck, so just something you might need to check out. Now this can's going to the bug out location. I've got another few out there that I've just been putting out, just so I've got some fuel if I have to get out there and then either head back or leave from there to go somewhere else. Just one of those things that might actually pay to be useful for, and this just stays around so I have extra fuel from here where I am now at my place, just so that I can get where I need to be going. I actually used it last week when I was I got stuck with a bunch of bills, so I didn't really have any money. I needed to, well, I wanted to go out and see my grandparents out on their farm and give my granddad a hand with some labour, so he's getting a bit older, but he still wants to live out on the farm, so I thought I'd better go and give him a hand. I didn't have enough fuel, so I just cracked into the old jerry can. These are both 20 litres, those two, so that one's just a bit shorter and thicker than that one, obviously. And it's one of those things also, you should probably write the type of fuel, whether or not it's got oil additives, or like if it's got two-stroke in it, if it's for a chainsaw. Make sure you distinguish if it's diesel, petrol, what octane rating, like because my car is sort of a performance car, it's got 98 octane unleaded just written on the side. I need to write it on the other two, but that just sort of reminded me looking at it then. It's a bit of a useful thing that you might need to take into account. But yeah, just thought I'd make a quick suggestion, just in case some of you haven't really thought about fuel preps. It's quite an important thing to have. Mainly, you've got to think that way about the range of your vehicle, and how far you can get on a full tank, especially when it's loaded, because if you do have to leave somewhere, then you've got to take into account the fact you will most likely be taking a lot of equipment with you. How the fuel range of your vehicle is affected when it's got a full tank, when it's under load, all that sort of stuff. You might be stuck in traffic for a while. That could all seriously detriment the ability of you to get your optimum fuel range out of your car. Like mine, with its 40 litre tank, I can get, when it's completely full, I can get about 450 to 500 kilometres, depending on how I'm driving. So that's not a great range, but it's not horrible. I always keep the 10 litre in the boot, so that gives me, what, on average, I don't know, an extra 110 odd kilometre range. So about, getting up near 600 is not bad. I could get a fair amount of places on 600 k's, especially in New Zealand. It's not exactly a huge country, especially if it's a localised event that I'm getting out of. I can get somewhere else, get to relatives somewhere else in the country. Other places that they haven't run out of fuel, like after the earthquake, Kaikoura, which is a small tourist-based coastal village a couple hundred kilometres north of Christchurch on the east coast, which is the same side of the coast, or same side of the South Island as Christchurch. They actually ran out of fuel, both of their fuel stations, because of all the people leaving Christchurch in such a hurry. They had enough fuel to get to Kaikoura because it's not that far away, but they were all refilling in Kaikoura, and there was, there's 400 odd thousand people in Christchurch, and when a bunch of them apparently went north, they overextended the use of well, the predicted use of fuel that Kaikoura was going to be having, and Kaikoura actually ran out of fuel, so that's another thing you might need to take into account of how many people are going to be leaving and what way they're going. I know some fuel stations that are quite out of the way, like small country fuel stations. You're going to pay a couple of cents extra a litre or a gallon or whatever you guys want to use as a unit of measurement, but it's a possibility that you might need to use them. I did. I used some of my fuel that I had stored in jerry cans to get out to these other places to fill up my car more, to refill the jerry cans I used to get out there, and then I bought some more jerry cans there. Like, you pay for it, like, it's not cheap, but because that's the thing with those little small like family petrol stations, they're probably going to be, you pay $50, $60 for a basic sort of jerry can, but if you want the fuel and it's at a commodity, you might have to fork out the extra money for it, which means it might even be easier just for you to pre-stock now, while you can. Go spend a little bit of money on, if you put aside one 5 gallon or 20 litre thing of fuel every week, like that was about $25 for that can, like brand new. That's New Zealand dollars as well, so that's probably not even $20 US, and you guys can probably get them cheaper over there. But then you put 20 litres of fuel in it, another $40 New Zealand of fuel, and that's it's $80 or $60, $70 a week. If you did that for 3 or 4 weeks, you're actually pretty sorted. Like, even if you did it every 2 weeks, as your budget depends. But yeah, just something you might want to. A point I thought I'd raise with some people is it's so often overlooked prep. People usually budget on ammo and food and medical supplies, but if you're planning on actually leaving via a vehicle, or you want to get out, which is potentially something you're going to need to do, then you're actually going to need your fuel for it. But yeah, that's just me having a bit of a ramble. Hopefully some of you gained something useful from it. Alright, cheers, bye.